Hello, um, one-eyed heathen here. Um, it's year of their Lord, November 5th, Tuesday, Election Day, 2024 in the United States of America. Um, Pre-attempted Second Civil War. um, I'm not an optimist. Actually, I am a little more optimistic than I used to be about the current election. Trans refugee escaped Georgia in 2022. I am now here in my own apartment. I did get a job. I had to quit that job on account of a herniated disc and combine that with a couple other disabilities. The good news is, so how did I get a new place? Well, my uncle died, and it wasn't. Don't I do appreciate? I think I'll just delete comments, but I do appreciate those who want to offer their condolences. But it wasn't recent, and it was something where his health was badly failing anyway. He was on his way out, and as far as like gender and stuff, unfortunately, my mother came out to him, but he was at a state where his mental faculties weren't all together, so he could call me by the wrong name and give me all the feminine cards and, you know, use the wrong words like, say, niece instead of nephew. Fine, fine, fine. I just said, hey, thank you very much. You know, thanks for the $5 or $20 or whatever. So it's that that wasn't any kind of like cruelty or transphobia. Now, my mother and my brother are very, very different. They are two of the people who, well, my mother got a little bit into QAnon for a while, but the whole mega QAnon, far right, theocratic stuff that's, even though my family wasn't particularly stringent about being Christian, I was raised pretty loosey-goosey Catholic, but they still got folded into all that stuff. And there are staunch atheists who got folded into all that stuff. There are many, many people into hippie stuff. Like veganism, drum circles, organic food, energy, new age, theosophy, which I don't necessarily consider theosophy a hippie thing, but certainly it's the sort of thing that kind of is in that same sort of orbit, and, new age, hippie, natural living, maybe, like clothing optional, nudist, naturalist, they kind of get into that sort of thing. And the far right, and it's not new, by the way. It looks new, but it's really not. It has been folded into all that stuff for, better part of a century. Probably a little more than a century, if you study it. And before Nazism, in the era when Europe, late 1800s, early 1900s, when Europe was getting into a lot of like romanticism and nationalism and sort of these revivalist movements, revival of living back in the country, living on the farm, etc. And the industrial world is, so destructive and this and that, and people were kind of wanting to go back to nature. Those sorts of movements have been kind of folded into right-wing movements like nationalism and eugenics, and the United States was actually quite the world leader when it came to eugenics. In my state now, California, which is considered one of these really lefty states, they were big into eugenics. And yeah, so Yeah, well, we know better now. Like, scientifically, we know some people choose not to know better. But we know better now. Yeah. You mean good genetics, like good genes, right? And then these, quote, race realists, alt-right, far-right, whatever you want to call them, sometimes they'll use a term called dysgenics, like bad genes. That's dysgenics isn't like a great scientific word or anything. It's just it's lingo that flies around in that community. Yeah. So, right now I'm living in a studio apartment. I just smacked my hand, and I meant to just set it on the counter, and I just kind of smacked it in water. Thank goodness I know it was water, or otherwise I'd be like, ah. So yeah, I just got my head shaved today. I've never gotten it completely bald before, and I really like it. It's I look like a pink cue ball over here. It's kind of funny, but I like it. But yeah, it'll be interesting in the winter. But I have beanies. Yeah. So, oh, and by the way, on the off chance someone from the far future is listening, look into a podcaster called Tim Pool, and look into Russia paying podcasters to flat out lie. Yeah. Vladimir Putin, and I'm probably mispronouncing it, and I apologize in advance. I think it's pronounced Xi Jinping. Yeah, Germanic languages, and I don't know what the East Asian language group would be called, and I apologize for that. They don't go together well. As in, it's hard to go from one to the other. And I had a boss who was of Chinese descent, and his first language was Chinese, and he could not say my first name, and at first I thought he was just being rude, and I'm glad I didn't react, because in conversation with another person whose first language was Chinese, she was having a difficult time with my name, and I'm not one of these people that just don't care. But I often have difficulty pronouncing, well, not just Chinese names, but names from Far East languages. So, if had a well, it's not personal. It's just language groups and what people's mouths are used to doing. Coworker from Myanmar, you just tell everyone call me 2, like the number 2. But I'm sure no one's getting the tonal qualities right or anything, and he's putting up with it. He's being a sport. Good guy being a sport, right? So update for me, I'm very happy in a studio apartment. I'm still getting odds and ends. I'm still waiting for a tea infuser. I have silverware and plates, and I have cookware, and now the cookware was given to me, and I'm eventually going to give that away and get new cookware, because I can afford new cookware, and this is stuff you can't necessarily use metal with, and I have stuff that is not metal, here, this pasta thing, mabob. It's fine, but a lot of times if something is about to, I don't know, I hear some sizzling and I don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pan, and I literally have a metal spoon in my hand, anyway, part of me is thinking about and hoping that thousands of years from now, people will still be able to recover this. So I kind of want to show what people from my day and age would have eaten, or what I'm trying to eat, because I'm trying to go vegetarian. So here's tomatoes and onions, cucumber, and I put some veggie nuggets in there. This is kvass. Most Americans don't drink this. I like it. This is a Russian brand. It's not a personal bias. This is leftover pasta, some cut tomatoes, some mushrooms, and there's mushrooms back there, mashed potatoes, sour cream, because sour cream goes in everything. I don't care what you say, but ketchup does not go in beef stroganoff. Here's non-alcoholic beer. Leftover some salsa, some Impossible Burger that I'm going to use tonight. Here's some leftover fries, because I will never, I don't waste. And this is like, this is cookie dough. This is chocolate chip cookie dough. And eggs. So I'm going, and protein shakes. Some protein shakes that I've had left for when, like I'm in a hurry. Soy milk, low-fat milk, that's like cow milk in the States, though, goat milk's good too. Is this vegan mayo or just mayo? This is, this is just mayonnaise. Okay, this is regular mayo. And butter, this is regular butter, not vegan butter. Again, like my goal is to go, my first goal is to go vegetarian, and I'm going slow with that. Let's see, the unsweet tea, I love unsweet iced tea. Most people will have soda. I don't like soda anymore. This is Worcestershire sauce. This came out of Great Britain, specifically England, Worcestershire. The word shire at the end of it. It's one word, but shire at the end of it will let you know where it's from, because they have all kinds of shires, and they're really, really long, and they're always, in pronunciation, they're always squished. And instead of shire, shire, they'll say whatever it is. So I don't know, like, what in my apartment would be of interest to anyone. I openly love blue and gold, and I have like gold silverware, and I have blue dishes. Taking them out of the dishwasher. I don't like, people will consider them tacky as anything, and I don't care. I really don't care. Let's see. So yeah, right now it's just about, it's 6:25. So I'm gonna end up eating a late dinner. I'm gonna cook a rice dish, and then I'm gonna make a salad that's gonna go in the fridge for a day, because it has like vinegar, cucumber, onion vinegar. I'm gonna put some garlic in it, stick it in there for a day. Gonna cook that Impossible Burger with onion and pepper, and a can of tomatoes, and what else? Oh, lots of spices. I like chili powder and curry and paprika. Yeah, I think that's about as far as spices. I do have a spice rack, but this is not a respectable spice rack. This is like, this is just 20 spices. This is not respectable. This is not like one of those Lazy Susans with like fresh spices in it and stuff. That's awesome. That's a cheap ass spice rack. But for garlic, well, I have garlic powder. I have garlic in here because I love garlic. I can just sit and eat raw garlic. I love it. It's the best thing in the world. I like shallots. Leeks are all right. Now I can't just sit and eat a shallot like I could with garlic. But, onion's not my favorite, but I can deal with them, and I like them in moderation. Let's see, what else? I have big red onion, and I'll use some of that for the salad. I've gotten a lot of onion. I got a lot of onion in my fridge because it's kind of one of these things that it gets kind of put in just about everything that I make, because it's like scrambled eggs, throw some onion, throw some pepper, throw some tomato, put some salsa on it, put some Tabasco on it, and put some mushrooms in it. It's like there comes a point where it's like, there's egg in here, right? It becomes this pile of vegetables with scrambled eggs in it. Anyway, well, my old state of Georgia, I just heard that my old state of Georgia is very likely going to Donald Trump, and that makes me very sad. In 2020, I lived in Fulton County, Georgia. I lived in North Fulton, and I helped it turn blue. So that was an interesting time to live, and so I'm doing some of the videos that I do. So yes, I love IKEA cubes. I love organization. This place needs cleaning though. It's like, a month in here and oh my god. But yeah, I'm not gonna that's my business there. It's not like gross or anything like that. It's just, that's my business. But yeah, organization. I love organization. That's gonna be a meditation chair. It has dirty shorts in it. Coffee machine. I'm waiting for a tea infuser, but yeah, most of my odds and ends and shit, I got. So in the sink, there's a really nice colander that can pull out and sit on top of the sink. So yeah, I like that. But it's dirty now. So it's evening, so there's really nothing to see in the windows. But I wouldn't show anyway because I don't want to drop my docks. So that's a message to the future, whether it's a year from now, just for myself, like next Halloween or so, or who knows. With data recovery, it may last very long, and I hope that all of you in the future, these are glasses. These are, this is an eyeball. We're not robots yet. I mean, in the sense of workers. We don't get paid enough. But yeah, we're not robots yet. But seriously, though, with data recovery, I'm hoping that people thousands of years from now can see this and see what people are eating, what tools we're using. This is just something you set dirty utensils on. I hope people thousands of years from now just don't even need utensils because, everything's just so fucking advanced. I hope we're in a Star Trek society with food replicators and shit, Star Trek was a TV show, I'm sure. No, but with data recovery, I just hope that the future is bright, and I hope that people are seeing this like some kind, like digital archaeologist or something. That would be cool. Like sifting through ancient digital data. That would be rad. I hope somebody's doing that one day. That'd be amazing. Okay, so I hope that you look back on us and think that we're interesting, but I also hope that you think that we're savages, because that would mean that you're far more advanced. Like, I still live in a country with a death penalty. We got some issues over here, but we also have a lot of potential to fix a lot of these issues. Oh boy. So I guess it's probably a good time for me to sign off. Thank you very much for listening. And, yeah, that's it. So, as I always say at the end of these sorts of videos, follow the Raven's Rook.